Howdy folks, hope you all had a great weekend and welcome to another episode of Mingles with Jingles. Got a couple of announcements this week, but first let's have a quick word from our sponsors, and this month they're giving away something extra at no extra cost. Today's video is sponsored once again by the one product that I am always happy to keep recommending, NordPass, best password manager on the planet. And you can get yourself NordPass by heading over to nordpass.com/jingles, use code JINGLES at the checkout and receive access to their current best exclusive offer, all covered by their 30-day money-back guarantee. The thing is, despite being a password manager, something that it is exceptionally good at, they've also introduced some new privacy features, such as email masking. What's email masking? Good question, glad you asked. If you've ever, let's say for example, ordered a pizza online, because this is something that's actually been happening to me recently, and discovered the hard way that despite clearly stating in your email preferences, no thank you, I don't want to receive any marketing emails, but it turns out that when you hit the Pay Now button after selecting your pizza of choice, what you're in fact clicking on is a button that should be labelled Pay Now, disregard my written preferences, and please immediately start sending me lots and lots of marketing emails. If that or anything like it has ever happened to you, and we all know it has, then you will probably appreciate the benefits of email masking. Essentially, it supplies a fake disposable email address so that you don't get bothered with marketing spam. How does it work? It's actually really simple. Step 1. Anytime you're prompted to create a new account in order to sign up for, anything online, NordPass will ask you whether or not you want to create an email mask for that account. Step 2. Give NordPass a fake email address. There is no step 3. That's it, you're done. It's that simple. So, as well as the password manager, which allows you to create unique and secure logins for every online activity you have without having to remember unique passwords for each and every one of them, as well as the data breach scanner, you've now also got email masking, an extra privacy feature, all included in the base price at no extra cost, which you can get by heading over to nordpass.com/jingles. Use code JINGLES at checkout to get the current best offer, and if you don't like it, although I'm sure you will, it's all covered by their no questions asked 30-day guarantee. And on to our first announcement of the week, and unfortunately, it's not a happy one. Those of you who are signed up to the Salt Mine Discord server will know Grumpa Salty, retired US Navy veteran, owner and administrator of the Salt Mine Discord server. Unfortunately, he was recently diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Now, I have no idea what that is, but I do know that it is not curable. This is going to kill him. However, while it isn't curable, it is at least treatable. Unfortunately, the piece of equipment that will add years to his life expectancy is really expensive. So a GoFundMe has been set up to try to raise the $7,000 required to purchase this piece of, not life-saving, but certainly life-prolonging equipment for him. There's a link in the video description where, if you wish, and no pressure whatsoever, this is entirely up to you, but if you want to donate to Grumpa Salty's life-extending GoFundMe, then link in the video description. Thank you very much in advance for anybody who chooses to donate. Next announcement. A little bit happier, although something of a mixed blessing. Does everybody remember Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? It shouldn't be too difficult to remember, it only came out 6 months ago. The live service stuffed with microtransactions and battle pass game from Warner Brothers that was so massively successful it ended up costing them $200 million. Yeah, it was a bit of a failure, and deservedly so. Well, it may have cost Warner Brothers $200 million, but it doesn't have to cost you anything. Yeah, I know, I'm not really talking this game up very well, am I? But hey, free games are free games, because yes, it is technically going free to play, but only for 48 hours. So if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, with your Prime Gaming, from the 16th of July, you'll be able to download it for free and keep it via Prime Gaming on the Epic Store for Prime Day. I didn't even know Prime Day was a thing, but hey, there you go. Now, this download and get it for free window of opportunity is only going to be up for 48 hours, starting from, I think it's midday Pacific time. Yeah, which is 8 p.m. British summertime. Whatever the time zone is of your choice. But you've got 48 hours from that point to grab this game. Further good news, it's apparently coming with an offline mode. So again, one of the many complaints that people had about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was the fact that you required an always-on internet connection in order to play it, because, you know, it was a live service game, so obviously. Well, apparently offline mode is about to become the preferred way to play it, so there's that. And this does have the potential of being incredibly good news if you plan on downloading and keeping the game and playing it for more than a couple of months, because with the player numbers recently dropping into the low hundreds, there's a possibility that Warner Brothers might decide to shut the servers down. But if you can play it in offline mode, this isn't going to be a problem. So, I don't know, I'm not doing an incredibly good job of selling this game. But the further good news with this deal is it's not the only game that you're going to be able to download and keep for free on Prime Day. Also included are titles such as Chivalry 2, which came out in 2021, I think, and the 20th anniversary celebration edition of Rise of the Tomb Raider, which came out in 2015. I mean, it's a 9-year-old game, but it still holds up pretty well today, and it still looks pretty good. So, as well as Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, you can also get 2 actually pretty good games. 100% free for Prime Day. But they're all 3 of them only available for 48 hours, starting on July the 16th. Well, anyway, moving along swiftly. The more observant among you may notice that there was a bonus video yesterday, an extremely long, an almost hour-long bonus video. Horizon Forbidden West. It's a game I've been doing a playthrough of, and really enjoying. The problem that I rapidly discovered with the half-hour-long Horizon Forbidden West videos that I've been doing up to this point, this game is big. I mean, it's really big. It's been estimated that if you ignore all of the side quests and you just follow the main story mission, there's 50 hours of gameplay here. And there's more than 100 hours of gameplay if you do all the side quests. And I'm the kind of person that likes to do all of the side quests. I'm a bit of a completionist. I like to collect everything, do everything. The thing is, even if I were to not record myself doing all of the side quests and turn them into videos, if I'm doing 2 half-hour videos on Horizon Forbidden West every week, well, the mathematics isn't very hard. It's going to take nearly a year for me to complete this video series, just doing the main quests. So, with that in mind, because I really enjoy this game, I think it's excellent, and I want to do a full playthrough of it. But while I'm definitely not going to have time to show you all of the side quests, but I will probably be including some of the better ones, even just sticking to the main story quests with some additional side quests scattered in along the way, I really kind of needed to up my game. So, with that in mind, I'm extending the length of the Horizon Forbidden West videos to 1 hour, which is easily doable with the amount of content in the game. I mean, I have probably accumulated a terabyte of video data already, and I'm currently just quickly checking my Steam statistics, 32 hours in, and that's with doing all the side quests, so I've barely scratched the surface. But I'll be doing 3 hour-long Horizon Forbidden West videos every week, so Wednesday, Saturday, and then a regular bonus Horizon Forbidden West hour-long video on Sunday too. So hopefully, because I mean, you know, there are other games coming up that I want to play, and potentially also turn into video series, like I mean, I don't have huge hopes for Star Wars Outlaws. It's coming out next month. Because it's a Ubisoft game. Technically, aside from the Star Wars skin, potentially very similar to Horizon Forbidden West. Because, I mean, that's what the Horizon Forbidden West developers, Guerrilla Games, did. They took that Ubisoft open world template and actually made it good just by the simple virtue of giving a shit. Just by caring about the plot, the writing, the story, the characters, and, you know, having it all make sense. Something that Ubisoft haven't bothered to do with their open world games for a very long time. But the potential is there for Star Wars Outlaws to be good. I mean, I don't have high hopes, but I'm hoping it will be, because I do like me a bit of Star Wars. And it's definitely got the potential to make a good video series, if the game itself is any good. But I'm going to need to get Horizon Forbidden West put to bed first. So, in order to stand even the slightest chance of getting that done successfully, more Horizon Forbidden West videos, twice as long as you're used to. And I realise they're certainly not my most popular video series. I mean, anything that isn't World of Tanks or World of Warships is rarely my most popular video series, although there have been exceptions in the past. Assassin's Creed Odyssey did spectacularly well, as did Choo Choo Charles. But the other non-wargaming titles have all been a bit hit and miss. But you really should. I mean, if you haven't played the game yourself, because I will be cutting out most of the side quests, but Horizon Forbidden West is so incredibly good. And the other thing about not including all of the side quests in the video playthrough is that I'm not completely 100% spoiling the content for any of you who are thinking, well, you know, I'd like to watch these videos, but I plan on playing the game myself and I don't want spoilers, so, you know, there's that. But anyway, if you're a fan of storytelling, you should be watching these videos. And if you're a fan of storytelling and you're not watching these videos, you should be playing the game yourself. Actually, how much let me just have a quick look and see how much the original, because the original game was incredible too. It's currently $39.99 on Steam, so it's a 4-year-old game. And that includes all the DLC. That's actually a bargain for what you get. Let's have a quick look and see how much Ubisoft are currently charging for their previous open world titles. Far Cry 6, $49.99. Far Cry 5 at $49.99. That's a 6-year-old game. Yeah, you can tell the Horizon series aren't made by Ubisoft, can't you? Anyway, I think I've flogged this dead horse quite enough. Let's move on to something else. Ooh, sporting news. And no, I'm not talking about the European Football Cup finals. It was only a matter of time before the Olympics started doing esports. And it's finally happening next year. The legendarily corrupt International Olympic Committee have just signed a 12-year deal with a country with one of the worst human rights violations records in history to do the official Olympic esports tournaments. That's right, esports, Olympic esports are coming to Saudi Arabia. I'm not making this up, right? Without the slightest trace of irony or embarrassment, the IOC said, by partnering with Saudi Arabia, we have also ensured that the Olympic values are respected, in particular with regard to the game titles on the programme, the promotion of gender equality and engagement with the young audience, which is embracing esports. In Saudi Arabia. A country that recently sentenced women's rights activists to 11 years in prison for crimes like calling for an end to the country's oppressive guardianship law and going to the shops without a hat. Okay, whatever. Don't worry, I'm fake laughing, but the tears are very, very real. Then again, I suppose the International Olympic Committee is only going where others have led. Like when FIFA decided that the last Football World Cup in, was it 2022? That of all the countries bidding to actually hold the World Cup, the winner would be that renowned international footballing hotbed of a country, Qatar. And the matches would all be played in stadiums that had basically been built by economic slave labour. You know, when even Sepp Blatter, former FIFA president, and a man who is no stranger to allegations of financial misconduct, when even Sepp Blatter is saying, yeah, this looks a bit dodgy. Yeah. I mean, I suppose football's, that's soccer, by the way, to you Americans, but I suppose football is actually, it's actually fairly topical at the moment, what with the UEFA Cup final going on. In fact, yeah, by the time this video goes out, we'll already know who the winners are. The final's been played as I'm recording this today, between England and Spain. England in the final. How did that happen? I mean, the last time the England football team won anything was the 1966 World Cup. 1966. Hands up if you were even alive the last time the England football team won a major tournament. I mean, I wasn't. I'm 54, and this happened 4 years before I was born. I mean, it's not that England haven't done well since then. It's just that they haven't won anything. We have a proud and noble tradition of losing on penalties to Germany in the quarter or semi-finals. We might actually stand a chance this time around because it's Spain. I don't think we've ever lost to Spain on penalties before, although there's the first time for everything. Oh, I'm just winding you all up. I honestly don't care, although I guarantee there are going to be some people out there whose jimmies have just gotten well and truly rustled. In fact, I think, when was it? I know I was in the Navy, and I know I was at HMS Nelson, which must place it in the mid-90s. So it couldn't have been the 1994 World Cup, because England was so bad they didn't even qualify. I think that was the first time England had failed to qualify for the World Cup. So it must have been the 1996 UEFA Cup, where we went out to Germany on penalties in the semi-finals. That must have been it, because I was actually in the Junior 8s bar at the time. I don't know what I was doing there. I wasn't interested in watching the football, but the bar was packed and everybody else was very interested in watching the football. But it went to full time and the scores were drawn. It went to extra time, the scores were still drawn, which meant it's going to a penalty shootout, at which point I turned around to my mate and said, right, penalties, I'm going outside for a smoke, so I'll be back after we've lost to Germany on penalties. He said, don't say that, and of course it's exactly what happened, because it always does. Anytime we're up against Germany and it comes down to a penalty shootout, England always chokes. I'll tell you what, it's a good job the Second World War didn't come down to a penalty shootout. Although technically, I suppose England were only really the substitutes. It was really the Russian team who decided the outcome of that one. Well, anyway, complete change of topic, and I'm going to leave you with something to think about, or something hopefully to laugh about. So, as I was playing Horizon Forbidden West this week, and marvelling at just how good the voice acting and the casting was, it led me down, as I was playing, a trail of thought where I was thinking about other fantastic voice actors. Well, not necessarily voice actors, but actors with fantastic voices who are known for the quality of their voice performances. People like Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones, and Christopher Walken. And as I was thinking about Christopher Walken, the one scene in a movie with Christopher Walken that's always stood out for me was the scene between him and Dennis Hopper in the Tony Scott movie, True Romance, written from a script by Quentin Tarantino. And anybody who's seen this movie will know exactly what I'm talking about, and hopefully is going to agree. No spoilers here, because if you haven't seen the movie, you really, really, really do need to see it. It's that good. And people go on about the legendary scene in Heat between Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, because that was the only time those two guys have ever been on screen together. But for me, the scene between Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper in True Romance blows it out of the water. And it's down to a combination of the great direction from Tony Scott, the incredible script by Quentin Tarantino, and the sheer quality of the performances that Walken and Hopper give. And, I mean, it doesn't hurt that Christopher Walken has that unique, not just the way his voice sounds, but the way he speaks, that can't help but elevate any performance that he gives. And so I'm thinking about that, and then I started thinking about the worst possible casting decisions made in TV, games and movies. And that led me to another Christopher Walken performance. The Tim Burton movie, Sleepy Hollow, where he was cast as the Headless Horseman. You've got an actor like Christopher Walken, who, along with greats like James Earl Jones and Morgan Freeman, is known for his voice. And they cast him in a non-speaking role. Inspired piece of casting there, Tim Burton. But it's worse. It's even worse than that. Because, I mean, he's such a good actor. And again, going back to the scene in True Romance between him and Dennis Hopper, he doesn't even need to say anything to be able to express magnitudes. I mean, there's a point in that one scene where he gives Dennis Hopper a look, and you instantly know what's going to happen. I mean, he doesn't even need to say anything. So, you know, putting Christopher Walken in the movie as the Headless Horseman it's maybe not a terrible idea. Except, hang on a minute. He's the Headless Horseman. You only actually see his face for one scene, and he doesn't say anything. Yeah. They could have gotten an extra to do that role for $100 a day, for all the difference it was going to make. But they chose to pay Christopher Walken to do it instead. I mean, I'm sure he was happy to take the paycheck, because he basically didn't have to do anything. But Yeah. Not the most inspired piece of casting I think I've ever seen in a movie. Great job, Tim Burton. Well done. And on that bombshell, that's it for this week's episode of Mingles with Jingles. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you something to think about and have a laugh about. And as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.